Bonus unit, intonation. English, like any other language, has its own distinct sound. This goes beyond words and gives us the possibility to say the same phrase in different ways, conveying different coded meanings. Intonation can be defined as the rise and fall of the voice in speaking. There is no need to worry about this aspect of English, as it is quite fun and enjoyable. Let's take a look at the most recognizable intonation patterns. Interrogative intonation. The pitch rises at the end of yes/no questions and WH questions. For example, do you like coffee? Or, what time is it? In a similar type, the pitch rises at the end of a statement that is turned into a question with a tag. Something like, you're coming with us, aren't you? Introductory words intonation. We have a rising tone when we use words like actually, in my opinion, and by the way. These rising pitches are followed by a drop at the end of the sentence. Let's take a look at a few examples. Actually, we were pretty excited. In my opinion, Istanbul is too crowded. And, by the way, you look handsome today. Our next pattern of intonation is what we call series of words intonation. We use a rising tone for each listed item until we've reached the last item of a series. Here are two examples for this. I'm taking biology, French, and English. Another one. I got the money, paid the bill, and got the receipt. Notice how the end before the last item indicates that the drop is coming. And English, and got the receipt. The next pattern is for choices intonation. To put it simply, when you give a choice between two or more things, you use this kind of intonation. For example, please remind me, is your anniversary in December or January? As you see, one pitch is rising and another is dropping. I'm sorry, do you speak Chinese or Japanese? Or, did you want honey or sugar? The most interesting type of intonation is intentional intonation, which depends on the emotion of the speaker, and you can change the intonation of any word within a sentence to give a different meaning. Let's consider some reactions in different tones. The first tone being disappointed. I broke my phone's screen. You did? In a surprised tone, I met a girl at school. You did? In an angry tone, I burnt your cake. You did? In agreement, I did a great job. You did? And so you can see that the same simple phrase, you did, could give you so many different meanings, especially as a reaction. To continue with the intentional intonation, we could also look at okay or oh really as reactions. Let's consider firstly the normal tone. Let's get to work. Okay. The hesitant or unwilling tone. Can you help me with my project? Okay. The excited tone. Let's order some pizza. Okay. The interested tone. Did you know that dolphins are mammals? Oh, really? The sarcastic tone. I can do 100 handstand push-ups. Oh, really? As for the next type, it is what we call the intentional stress. In a previous unit, we already discussed stress shift and how much it can affect the meaning of a word. The same might be said for sentences. Meaning, when you stress a specific part of a sentence, you could mean something completely different. So notice how the meaning of the same sentence will change when we change the stressed word. The sentence we have is, I don't love him. So when stressing different parts, we will have different meanings. Let's look at the first one. I don't love him, but she does. I don't love him. I really don't. I don't love him. I like him. I don't love him. I love his friend. The next type of intonation will be an emphasis on auxiliaries. In case we need a refresher, auxiliaries are those verbs which help you say the tense. Do, did, does, is, and so on. In order to emphasize or strengthen a point, extra stress is placed on auxiliary words. The highlighted word will show you where the emphasis is. Let's go. You don't understand me. I do understand you. Another example. You didn't go, did you? I did go. It's hot, isn't it? It is hot. You've never been here, have you? I have been here. So in some cases, it might be grammatically wrong, like in the second example, to say I did go. However, in this case, there's an exception because you are emphasizing a point. Instead of saying I went, you could emphasize it stronger and say I did go. In the next part of this unit, we will look at some pronunciation shortcuts that you must know. Fluency in many cases is mistaken for speed. However, it is only shortcuts and connections in the right places. To, for example, might sound more like t, so try to repeat these 3 examples with me for practice. Rather than saying I'd like to go, we might be able to say I'd like to go, to go. Alright, let's move on. I need to talk to you. I'd like to go to the park. Another type of these is and becoming n. A very familiar example is rock and roll. The n there is actually and. Other examples might be bacon and eggs, black and white, in and out, and of course rock and roll. To move on with pronunciation shortcuts, we have for being pronounced as fur. For example, let's go for a walk, or wait for John, or in another example, I'm looking for my book. Another very useful shortcut is can, which can turn into can. Here are 4 examples which I advise you to repeat after me. I can do it. You can call me. Can you swim? When can you come over? And the last 2 patterns for pronunciation shortcuts are as becoming as. Let's take a look at some examples. It's as big as a house. I'm as hungry as a wolf. I'll call you as soon as I can. Keep it as long as you need it. Finally, or becomes Here are 4 examples. Is it this one or that one? I'll do it today or tomorrow. I saw it 5 or 6 times. I'm leaving on Monday or Tuesday. A similar way you could add fluency to your speech is by making pronunciation shortcuts through reductions. The first kind of reduction we're going to talk about is have. Have is used in a wide range of meanings and also as an auxiliary verb, so it has a very special importance. Let's take a look at a short dialogue where we use have in each sentence. What have you been doing? I've been studying. What have you been studying? I've been studying English. How long have you been studying it? I've been studying for 2 hours. Another pronunciation shortcut is for the cousin of have, has, which could also be reduced. Another short dialogue might be helpful to get this reduction. What's she been doing? She's been watching TV. What's she been watching? She's been watching a film. How long has she been watching it? She's been watching it for an hour. The next reduction is for the possessive pronoun our, which becomes more like are. Here's the dialogue for us to repeat. Do you like our new apartment? Our old apartment was bigger, but our new one is cheaper. That's true. We need to save our money to pay off our debts. The next reduction pattern is for. We've already talked about it earlier, but now let's look at it within a dialogue. I've been waiting for you for over an hour. I'm sorry for making you wait. You have excuses for everything. I was shopping for a present for your birthday. Is that for me? I forgive you for everything. The last kind of reduction we're talking about is reducing pronouns. In 5 different examples, we will see that any pronoun could be reduced into a faster, shorter version. Try to repeat the original and the reduced versions after me. Here we go. Instead of saying I love her, we could say I love her. Instead of saying tell him about it, we could say tell him about it. Rather than stuff he knows, we could say stuff he knows. Did he tell her becomes did he tell her? Has he seen them might be said as has he seen them? Last but not least, the same way we talked about reduced forms, we could also talk about examples where we have two weak and strong forms, especially for vowels. For this aspect we will focus on for, to, and at. Firstly, we will read an example where we have a weak form of a reduced vowel, and in the second example we will have a strong form of a full vowel without any reduction. So, I'm looking for you in a weak form has to become who are you looking for in a strong form. The same way, would you like to go in a weak form has to be spelled fully in a strong form. I'd love to go. As for at, if we take a look at a weak form example, he's at the bank, as we reduced it earlier, in a strong form has to become are you laughing with me or at me? Well done, people, you've completed this section. Give yourself a pat on the back and grab a cup of your favorite drink because we're 1 unit away from the end of our course together. Send us your pronunciation of the practice phrases to our Telegram channel. Leo and I will send you feedback on how to improve or congratulate you on your great job. See you in the next and last unit.